Well, welcome back, guys. This is a very short break. It's not even a break. I just posted a video, I think, 2 days ago, and I'm launching this one. And I know this was a pretty bad video to get your hands on. It was only 8 minutes, and it had no really plot, and the movies were really short and not that thought out. But I promise, this video will be very thought out. As you all know, Smallville has just been added to Netflix. It's a peak show. I am really happy that it's going to be good. So I decided to make a cinematic universe about Smallville. So let's get into it. It started 2005. I should start at 2001, but because it's movies, I think it should be the start of the Dark Knight. First movie, Superman. Movie starts out that we see Clark Kent speaking to Lois Lane in the Daily Planet. There's mostly Smallville and other actors from this. Then we see him go out in now his black Smallville suit fighting King Shark. He defeats him quite easily. As we then see him go back to talk to Lois Lane, and she's like, "You have to, oh, really? You have to stop our conversation for that," she says in like a really comedic tone. As we then see him go up to fight Livewire, Metamorpho, and Elongated Man. These are both heroes, but they're played as villains for this plot. If we then see them all speak Lex Luthor, that is through chapter 1, the real overarching villain, as he speaks to them and talks to them and says that he has a little team, that they all hate being stopped by Superman, so he has an idea for them to work together, they can stop him together. As we then see Superman being jumped by all of them. He gets pretty harsh in the face as he goes to Lois, and Lois says, "Oh, your mother left a present for you," as he puts on the classic red and blue suit as he goes off and fights them. He has a pretty now much easier time. It's not really that, it's because he's now has to wear a look, and as we see him defeat the gang, and they all in the end credit scene become heroes. 2006, Batman Hush. Movie starts out we see Bruce Wayne talking to Lex Luthor, and he jokes about Lex's little despise of Clark Kent, or Superman. As we then see Harry Elliott walk in. As he goes up to them and starts having a conversation, he's not Scarecrow, he's Hush in this way. As we see him, as the conversation just continues as they all talk. And we see Batman go off and fights a basic criminal. As we then see Hush watch over it. As we then see Batman fight Hush. As he then goes off to talk to I gotta stop calling him Killian Murphy. Harry Elliott. Harry, Harry Elliott about it. As he then goes off and fights Hush, defeats him, but he's able to slip away. As he then finally meets up with Harry Elliott and reveals that Harry Elliott gets arrested. Then we go to the credits. We see Lois and Clark talk with Lois, and Clark says like, "Oh, it's getting late. I have an interview." As we see Bruce Wayne comment. As we then see Bruce calling him Superman. Arrow. We start to see Green Arrow take down a common criminal. That is just the design. This is just the design I use for most common criminals. As he then goes off, as he then has to fight Black Canary that is working for Malcolm Merlin. A lot of advanced actors up on the CW or the Nolan movies. As she works with him. As she then goes off to fight him, but as in the fight he makes a real SG Junior on him. As they fight Malcolm Merlin together and defeat him. As he then is stopped by Batman and Superman on the nights below in the end credit scene. And they talk about forming a team. This Batman is a lot more formative. He wants to be helped. 2007, we get Superman Legacy. Movie starts out with Superman flying, and he's then interrupted with the Fly Squad, as they're called. As we see him take them out quite easily. It's a lot like the end fight of Superman. As we then see Lex talk to someone he calls John Henry. This is Steel. As we see Steel come up with the idea of trying to become a Superman clone. As we then see Lex look at Kara. He's harnessing the power for his the armors from Kara. As we then see Lois speak to Clark about work. As we then see John Henry Irons put on a suit that is now getting more energy from Kara as he goes out and fights a common criminal. He fights Deadshot. No, he fights Bloodspot. He just fights. As we then see Superman interrupt him as they have a conversation, as he makes him believe that he's no longer Felix to it. As we see Superman pull up and rescue Kara. As we then see Lex disappear, telling there's not over. As we see Lex put on his armor. As we then see them meet up with Superman and Kara as he's trying to train her. As we see Kara fight Steel, they're equally matched. As we then, because his suit is harnessing her power. As we then see Lex Luthor fight Superman. Superman beats Lex Luthor, and the end of the movie is just him talking to Kara. The Flash. Flash is Bot Allen. He runs around. No, he's Barry Allen, obviously. He fights Killer Frost, and then he also fights Heatwave. He also fights Captain Cold. As we then see Captain Cold organize Killer Frost and Heatwave to help him out with an itty bitty problem he has that he would like to call the Flash. As we then see the Flash run into all of them at the same time and get his butt kicked. He's defeated badly as he then returns and is able to realize that he has to separate them. First thing he does is that he knocks out Heatwave. He knocks out Killer Frost, and he then fights. He then moves very fast, and he then clears them all and puts them in prison. He then fights them. He puts them in prison. As he then cuts to an end credit scene, we see EO Bafan staring. It's Zoom. 2008 Justice League. This is considered the best film of the superhero films ever made. And we start out with Superman, Batman, and Green Arrow talk as they have to organize a team. We see Superman always bring up Kara. We see Green Arrow always bring up Black Canary. And Batman says he has an own literature. As we see him go off and collect the Flash. Then we see a big team shot with Batman in the middle because, well, he is the leader. In some iterations, he's not considered the leader, but in this version, as we see Lex Luthor talks to John Henry Irons now in his normal suit, and they still have Steel. As we see Ultraman enter, that he said can do your job better. As we see Ultraman force him in, as he turns him into what he would call the perfect weapon. This is called, in the movie Steel, he's called True Steel. And we see Lex hire Deadshot, but he also contacts someone he would like to call Swift, the second fastest person alive. As we then see the Lex organize his new flight squad, as we see the Justice League. We see Black Canary and Green Arrow fight Deadshot. We see Kara fight the True Steel. They're now even more equally matched. And now he is basically a Kryptonian. As we see Bart fight Swift, he has problems with her. As we see Superman fight the Ultraman, as we see Batman fight Lex. We see Superman knock off Ultraman's suit, and we see it. It's Bizarro. As we see Black Canary and Green Arrow defeat. As we see Kara and Bart do a trick where they swap enemies. So he runs around, making Steel get angry, as Kara beats up Swift. As when she's done, as we then see them team up together. This is the start of a form of romance. As we then see Batman, hack Lex suit and destroy it. As he then knocks Lex out. And we then see Batman fight him. As Batman uses something he would like to call a yellow sun coin to defeat him. But he also gets very injured by Bizarro. And Bizarro explodes from him, so he flies away with Batman. And Superman dies. As Kara mourns it, Batman tells he made a suit of the yellow sun coin. This is the yellow sun coin. So she can harness powers constantly. She's close to the other sun. That means she's around the strength of Superman. It's Batman Cyborg. The movie starts out with Batman talking, well, quite frankly, to Harvey Dent. And we see Cyborg, Victor Stone, take down several members of an evil criminal organization. Mr. Falcone. And we then see Batman meet up with him. We see him reveal his identity, because he doesn't have Robin in this unit. He has Cyborg. And we then see Mr. Falcone talk to John. And we then see him meet up with Harvey Dent in the mayor dispute, where one of his henchmen scars Harvey's face, turning him into Two-Face. And we see Bruce Wayne go off talking to him, and then the cops from storming. As we then reveal that Bruce didn't take him down with Batman. He took him down politically. He revealed a lot of his dirty affairs that his father had kept in a box. So, yeah, Mr. Falcone was arrested. As we then see Batman and Cyborg fight Two-Face. This Cyborg is not cybernetic. He has upgraded strength, and he has a metal suit most of the time. Maybe he's going to become almost cyber. as the end with them officially becoming partners. Green Arrow, uh, Green Arrow and Black Arrow are both get recast and called probably, or it's not unexplainable. It's also by Count Vertigo. As we see, Count Vertigo and Green Arrow have their little art vacation. See Black Canary coming to help. As we then see Black Canary get knocked out and severely damaged. As we see Green Arrow go off the bricks a bit. He kills Count Vertigo. And Black Canary returns goes to meet her in the hospital as she's getting fine. Aquaman, the only Aquaman movie. I had originally planned for it to be 2, but I changed it to be 1. As we then see Aquaman has been unpanned for Black Manta. As we then see Aquaman fight Black Manta as Black Manta tries to overthrow Atlantis. He succeeds because Aquaman is weak. Aquaman is forced to go, as he then gets put through trials by the Trident. As he then succeeds in all the trials, he returns as Aquaman in the King of Atlantis armor, as it's called. As he's then finally able to defeat Black Manta. And he does so successfully. 2011 brings us Supergirl. Movie starts out where she fights Bloodsport. Bloodsport is very often used in Superman films in this version to just show off like a common criminal. As we then see a clip of General Zod and his 2 underlings. As they meet, they trick him. They call themselves Superboy. Power Girl, and then Superman. They say they're his brother, and then his brother's 2 siblings. And they say, because he believes this, that he had a brother, she used to have a son. As we see him help out Kara, and we then see them all help her out, Kara, on a mission. As we see Superboy actually quite get attached and tell him that their plan is evil. As he kills him, as he pushes him to the ground, as he flees into his car. As we then see Power Girl pull up and crush his head. There's a lot of head crushing in this verse. He falls to the ground. He returns. And as he then says, well, there's no reason for hiding it anymore. As they all put on their black suit. As we see Kara fight constantly. She tries to do something, but she gets slammed to the ground by getting pulled in there. Like Darkwing gets Invincible. Also, tell me if you want to see an Invincible video. I really want to make a cinematic universe about Invincible. With like all the different characters having their own different movies. As we then see Superman and crush her head and make her body drop to the floor. As we then see Kara fights him, he's about to pick her up and crush her head. And we see her kick him to the ground. Again, so he's doing she doesn't kill him. As a new Zod pull up and crushes him and tells him that she's his Superman's actual brother. As we then see him save the time. Flash. The movie starts out with Flash fighting Shade, as he's able to defeat Shade. As Cyborg pulls up, it gives him a new suit that Batman says is a present. Because Flash isn't played at Nightwing in this verse, as we see Cyborg is really more open. And we see a black figure. The weirdest thing is Shade's master, but on the poster, which are the poster. But the movie tried to portray him as Shade's master. And we then see Flash fight Shade again, but then his black master appears and beats him up badly. As we then see him train, as we then see him go off to fight Reverse Flash again. He defeats Reverse Flash as he talks to Batman and says, maybe let me design my own suit next time. As Batman disappears. 2012, this was actually the last year of Nolan films release, but we have 1 more year after this. The movie starts out with Man of Steel, 1 year beforehand, as we see the new Superman defeat a fake Metallo. As we see him talk to Lois, hit on her. Lois said, no. As we then see Superman return. He talks to Cyborg Superman. They don't have a fight, they actually admire each other because he didn't know he had a brother. As we then see him goes off fighting Metallo, defeats Metallo, and we then see him. Then they get into an altercation. We punch him so much that we see he is Cyborg Superman, his armor. And as we see Superman defeat him, as we then see him go back to his normal suit, because now he has the something like this. As we then see the final. I know it's a rehash of the poster I made for Batman, but it's like I don't have creativity when it comes to these posters. The movie starts out with this Victor goes up. We see Victor goes off to fight Mr. Freeze on his own. He gets badly injured, and then he's truly turned into Cyborg. Uh, when he's turned into, and then we see Batman go off to fight Mr. Freeze. He also gets hit. Then he makes a suit that is now a lot stronger. As we then see them both go off fighting Mr. Freeze. They defeat him quite easily because now when they both are kind of immune to his powers. As we then see them both reconcile. The Cyborg that has been blaming Batman for his injuries throughout all the movie now finally realized that it was his own fault for getting scarred. After then see him finally give him a suit that Barry likes. This is technically supposed to be the same, but I was not gonna edit his face on the. So then see Batman and Superman have the conversation. 2013, the final year. Justice League. Movie starts off with Flash, Superman, and Batman talk. Green Arrow was really deep-edited because he wasn't really liked. As we then see the movie starts out with Green Arrow, with a big shot of the Justice League that has now added Cyborg and Aquaman to the group. We have Brainiac talk to the US president, who is played by Harrison Ford. As we then see that the US government has actually rehashed the, and Steel still wants, but Steel, he tells him that he can fix Steel. And Steel then organized the army with his nephew, Jonathan, Henry Irons. He becomes the new Captain Steel, because this is the true Steel. That is, this is Captain Steel. It's very weird. As we then see a big fight between the Justice League, where we see Batman and Superman fight Brainiac. We see Flash and Supergirl fight Steel. As we then you see Green Arrow and Black Canary. They fight 6 troops from the fight squad, and Cyborg fights less than them. And then see Aquaman. He fights Captain Steel. We see them defeat their enemies quite easily and regroup and continue with like Foe, FSC, Supergirl, and then Flash. She tells him she might have to do something she doesn't want to, as she crushes young Henry's head. As we then see Aquaman stab True Steel to death with his trident. We see the rest of the team. Obviously, Superman and Brainiac. They fight. Batman attacks. He gets badly injured. We see that. After then see Superman fly over. Batman tries to stop him, but he's not succeed. As Superman picks up Brainiac, crushes his head. We think it's all fine and dandy as Superman takes him in. He rips out kryptonite, weakens the 2 superheroes, and forces them to fly away. As he then speaks to Aquaman, he turns Aquaman on fire. As he then talks to Flash, and the end credit scene, and says that Superman decided to go and Aquaman decided to leave back to Atlantis. Movie ends, but I actually decided to give them a show. The Flash and Green Arrow shows are just follow-ups, but they are technically the only 2 heroes that are not like dead. And Cyborg shows up a lot in Flash show, and Batman retires after this movie, as he just said. But we also have Superman, the last family of Krypton. It's just a show, but it happens a lot later. So Tom Welling, for example, so it's Mon-El, Power Girl, the new Superman from the Black 2 Supermans that are just Kryptonians that they find that are played by 2 different actors. As we then see the Supergirl from the Flash movie and, well, Superman from the new Superman movie play Supergirl and Superman. In 2015 we got Arrow, in 2017 we get the Flash, and in 2022 we get the Superman, last family of Krypton. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is like a project I've been really trying to work on, and I thought it was really fun to give that ending. Because that was something I think Nolan's Batman would have done. And this Batman has always been a lot like Nolan's Batman. So yeah.